One day were Applejack with Apple Bloom to the market to buy some food for dinner, when she heard someone calling her name. She turned around and saw a stallion stick behind her. And Ash Bark? Is that you? Hey, Applejack. It has been a while. It sure has. What are you doing here? She asked. I'm living here again. Wait, when did you come back? But about 2 weeks ago, actually. You have been living here in Ponyville again for 2 weeks, and you haven't even informed me about it? Ash Bark was actually a very old childhood friend to Applejack, who had moved away from Ponyville to Trottingham to work to train to be as a carpenter. And that was about 5 years earlier. So this is your younger sister Applebloom? Yeah, this must be Applebloom. Well, it was good to see you again, Applejack. I haven't seen you like what, 5 years? Yeah, something like that. But at least it's good to see you, though. You know, you're always welcome back to the Sweet Apple Acres at any time. You know that. Yeah, I know. I might take you on the offer, but you know what? Since I have been busy with my work and just schedules or keep me busy. Yeah, I can understand that," said Applejack. "Well, the business work is calling, so I had to go. But it was good to see you again, Applejack. Same here." And after that, when Applejack and Applebloom was about their own way home, Applebloom did ask who Ashbark were. Well, he's a very old childhood friend of mine, and he moved away from Ponyville to Trottingham, had to be asked to train as a carpenter about 5 years ago. And they were supposed to originally thought that he was just going to stay there until he's completed his training and move back home. But last I heard that one from him though that he was offered by the same business a place to position, so he accepted it and remained there. But in the end, I thought he probably could come back there to Ponyville after a while, but he didn't, and we lost touch. Do you think why he stayed that long in Trottingham? Applebloom asked. Who knows? Maybe he found some special sound bunny. Applebloom smiled. It's possible, said Applejack. But when they came back home, Applebloom revealed to both the Big Mac and Grant Smith that they ran into Ashbark. Wait, Ashbark is back in town? Said Grant Smith. Yeah, he is, said Applebloom with a smile and jumped up and down of joy. Wait, when did he come back? The Big Mac asked. About 2 weeks ago, said Applejack. He had been living here for 2 weeks and we hadn't even seen him? Said he. Apparently, but Elizabeth was good to see him again, though. Yeah, that's sounds fun like it. And a couple of days later, while Applejack was taking care of some work at the farm, she had a surprise visitor, and it was Ashbrook. And around the time when he came there, he was actually saw that Applejack was working alone. Hey, Applejack. Oh, hey, Ashbark. You need any help? Uh, yeah, any help can be fine. Where is your family? I thought maybe your brother would help. Yeah, unfortunately, he isn't here. He and Granny Smith and Applebloom went to Appaloosa to visit our cousin Brayburn, who needed some help. Ah, well, I can help you with that. And I appreciate that, Sugar Cube. And the rest of the time, though, he started actually helping her with some of the some of the farm work and my feeding the animals. But during the break, though, she asked him, "So why didn't you come back about 5 years earlier? 5 years ago?" Well, you know, I was originally planned to go back here, but I wasn't even expecting that what I would be offered the as position at that same business. But when I completed my training and I was offered, I thought maybe yeah I can stay there for maybe for about maybe a year or two and then move back home, start my own business. But I still actually enjoyed it, and around the same time, I actually met a mayor. You did? And how did it go? Well, we went on a couple of days, about after a month. We were official couple, and we were actually together for 5 years. You know, during the fifth, you see, on our fifth anniversary, I was actually planning to propose to her. Really? But how did it go? Yeah, I never even got to that point. He said with a sad frown. Oh? What happened? Ash Bark was silent for a moment, looked at the sky, and said, I found out my girlfriend was cheating on me. She what? But before she could even ask more, he continued. It turns out she was cheating on me with another stallion for about a whole year behind my back. I was like, this is just unbelievable. I was like, there I was, planning to propose to her. I could see a whole future, us getting married, family together, my own business, but all came down with a crash and burn. I couldn't be more devastated. Because just before I thought to go to this, I had been to this jewelry store looking at a proposal ring to her, and even though I didn't buy it, but I was planning to do, saw her at this cafe with this stallion. I thought maybe this was just a friend of hers, since she has many friends in Trottingham. But and when I saw them kissing, I was like devastated. When I get home, I waited for her, but at that point we lived together, and I did tell her right away after she came home that I saw her with this stallion, and she didn't even deny it. She even admitted that she was cheating me on me with him for a whole year. I asked her for one reason why she did it, and you know what she said? No. She said she was not longer in love with me, so she wanted to be with someone else. And I said, if you didn't want to in love with me, why didn't you just break up with me and move in with that Sally instead? But she did say that she did like me, and I couldn't even stand it anymore. So, about just before I was about to leave, I did say, you know, I was in fact planning to propose to you, but after what you did, I can never even see myself even do it anymore. So I just left. I took on my own small personal belongings and just moved out. Went to another different place until then I started looking for a new place to move back. And I thought, I can't stay here anymore. So I planned to move back to Ponyville. After that, I found a small place in here, moved it back about 2 weeks ago, and opened my own business. And here I am. Applejack was really devastated because as she was listening, she had a big smile. But as he told his story and his continued, the smile slowly faded away. She was devastated. Her own childhood friend, who has been dating this mayor for 5 years, and finding out during the last year they're together, she had been cheating on him with another stallion, and that she didn't even love anymore. She was very heartbroken for him. Well, predictable. At least you know what happened, though. Yeah, I don't even care about what's happened to her anymore. I'm just happy to be back here with my family, my friends, some those who really care about me. Of course, we care about you. After all, you're amazing. You're strong, honest. I don't even know any other stallions who's like you. And then he just looked at her and said, "There is one other thing I would like even to tell you about Applejack, even though this may be 5 years too late." Oh? Well, would that be? Around the time when I moved away from Ponyville to Trondheim, I actually had a crush on you. Applejack was just surprised. But you did? But you didn't tell me? Why? I, like I said, I was originally planned to just stay there, complete my training, and maybe stay there for maybe 1 or 2 years just to be, you know, maybe to learn more and perhaps get, if I could find a good position there and earn some money and move back home of my own business. But as time passed, I met this other amazing mayor, which you know what happened, and and just moved on. And I didn't even expect you to even to like me back the same way. I mean, I know you call me your close friend, but I never thought you'd even like me the same way. He was not even finished his sentence when Applejack kissed him on the lips. Applejack, did you just kiss me? And she smiled and looked at him. Yeah, you doofus. You're a dork. I do love you more than anything. I was actually about to go to the station when you were going to leave and tell you, but why not? He asked. I was scared if you'd even like me the same way. So all this time, I had a crush on you, and I was afraid to even to tell you. And you the same thing. What is the odds for even for that to happen? I don't know. 1 to 1 billion? And Bolt started laughing and said, "Ah, I really miss you, dog, Applejack. You know how to make me laugh, and you know, I'm very sorry if I didn't tell you earlier." That's okay, Ash Bark. You know, you are now you're back home. Now you know how I feel for you, and I know the same thing for you, for me. And I think we should perhaps try a bit of dating to see if it works between us. You know, funny to mention that. I was going to say that the same thing. Are you maybe a mind reader? Applejack rolled her eyes and said, "No, but I had a guess you would." And both laughed again and said, "Maybe it is true. Yeah, but how about being on dinner tomorrow at my place or a restaurant? Your place sounds nice. All right, 4 p.m. Mm-hmm. Good." And then he kissed her, and they both continued to take care of the works at the farm. And then he left. And that same evening, Applejack laid in her bed and just looked at this, just stared at the roof. She had no idea what just happened. Only a few hours earlier, she'd now been asked out on a date with the same stallion she had a crush on 5 years ago. And now he was just standing, only a few hours ago, he was standing in front of her, asked her out. Something was like a dream to her came true. But she was looking forward to that date though. And the next day, around 4 p.m., Applejack was standing outside Ashbark's small house, knocked on the door, and he opened. He was actually smiling and said, "Welcome, come in." And he had actually had made pasta with hay balls for dinner. And they actually had a good time. And in fact, they talked about old childhood memories they had when they was younger. They both laughed about it. And even though both actually had a good time, and they actually admitted they really were so deep in love with each other, and even after such 5 years, and despite that he were already in another previous relationship at the time, he was still deep in love with Applejack without even realizing it. Yeah. A couple of days later, when Applejack's family came home, they noticed something a little bit different about her. She was smiling a little bit more, she was humming her song for herself. Even Applebloom saw something a little bit off. But when she had, "So, who is the lucky stallion?" "What? What? I knew it! You have a boyfriend, don't you?" Both Granny Smith and Big Mac just looked at her and asked the same question. "But how do you know?" "Well, I don't know. You seem more happier than usual." "So, who is it?" She didn't want to say it first, but she had to since both her family members just looked at her. "It is Ash Bark." Granny Smith smiled and said, "I knew it. I knew that he would be a perfect my granddaughter. And who knows, Applejack? He might put a ring on your finger on your hoof one day soon." "Granny, you know we've only been dating for about a few days, and now you're already talking about marriage." But Applebloom just up and down, saying, "Marriage between Applejack and Ashbark! Yay!" Even Applejack tried to hide the blushing face, but it was pointless. And only about short lasted soon enough, the whole Apple family across the kingdom was aware that Applejack had made found a potential husband and that she was a boyfriend. Even her friends found out. They were just excited, especially Pinky, who wanted to throw a party to invite both Ash Bark and even Applejack. And as time passed, the relationship between Ash Bark and Applejack just remained very solidly strong. And in fact, only about 2 years later, Ash Bark did in fact propose to Applejack. Even that she wasn't originally thought maybe this was going to wait another maybe 3 or 4 years or maybe 5 years, but after 2 years, she didn't see that coming. But she didn't say even no when he proposed. In Granny Smith, she could have been more happier to see her granddaughter to finally to be married. It's just a couple of months later after that the proposal in the summer, they had a wedding at Sweet Apple Acres, since that was the only place that could have hold a wedding if they want to invite the whole Apple family across the kingdom. And when she saw that, seeing Ashbark in his tuxedo at the altar next to Fluttershy and Big Mac and Twilight, who was going to perform the ceremony, she was really excited. And she knows that her parents would accept this, and they would be very, very happy and proud to see their own daughter getting married. Even afterwards, at the party which Pinky had arranged, the whole Apple family welcomed Ashbark in their family. They even went to Las Vegas for a whole week for the honeymoon. And there they had just an amazing time. enjoying the rides, enjoying some shows, and even had some romantic dinners together. And but just barely 1 year later, Applejack and Ash Bark did announce they were expecting their first foal together, a daughter. And just 2 years later, though, they even had a boy together. For Applejack, this could not be the most been an amazing time. Not only that her childhood friend Ash Bark came home, and that she was finally able to tell him how she really felt for him. And it's the same surprise to her that Ash Bark, of all her friends, had a crush on her. Even that both were so afraid to admit it, but they were actually happy though. Even Ash Bark himself, he could have been more happier to be with someone, with some pony like Applejack. Some pony who is honest, kind, strong, brave, very similar to himself. But not only that, to be married with his childhood love, and especially have a family with the pony he loved the most of all. Even Applejack, she could have been more happier to be with the one that she loved the most. And this is how Applejack and Ashbark, for the true love, got a family together. The end.